The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
It's the Gun Shop Show, and I'm your host, Logan Jones, filling in for Eli again because he
doing
needs,
Eli stuff.
Eli stuff.
he needs that
really
fishing
getting-
life.
really
he's
getting
been living
centered,
that fishing life.
getting real
yeah.
centered.
He's out there. He's trout fishing. He's having a great time, loving it. You know, just doing Eli stuff.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I asked him if I could join him, and he said no.
He's like, somebody's
No time
got to
for
host
Logan.
that
No
show.
He
time
was
for
like,
Logan
"Who's going to
stuff.
host the show, bro?" And I was like, "I think Trevor can do it." And he was like, "You can go ahead and host the show."
Nobody,
Yeah,
nobody
no one
wants
wants
to
me.
see Logan doing Logan stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
no, Logan
Eli.
stuff.
Right.
Logan and Eli stuff together, not stuff you want to see.
Well, I
Yeah.
think some might call that a paradox in some way.
in some way, but whoa. Anyway,
He's a smooth
those-
talker. You're a quick talker.
That's true. Those other voices you're hearing are from one of them is our creative director,
Oh, yeah.
the producer of the show.
Oh, yeah.
He does this like this.
Oh, yeah.
If you're listening on the radio, he's touching all the buttons, makes things happen,
Oh, yeah,
and
clicking
that is
buttons.
Trevor Smith.
Baby.
There he is, beautiful as always. White glasses, they're still feminine.
Not even a
Very.
little bit.
And the other voice that you're hearing is from our new resident gun bunny
Taking over.
of the older variety.
Ouch.
We're trying to appeal to everyone,
Total ageist. Trying to.
but that is the wonderful Alan Snow.
That's the extended cut.
Fantastic.
The
Still
extended cut.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. And we have a special guest today, as you all can see right now. His name is Brian Bust. Sorry.
Wow.
Brian Brust, he is a fan of the
Brian
Gun Shop
Bust.
Show.
Yeah.
We decided to take him out, do some shooting with him. It gives us an excuse to go shooting. And
He never turned it down.
All right.
exactly, test out some suppressors. But Brian, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you joining us shooting. But how you doing it?
Well, I'm doing
go.
pretty good. Actually enjoyed
Did
going
you?
out shooting. And,
Did ya?
you know,
Relief off my shoulders.
I'm no Lulu,
No.
but I'll do
That's
my
true.
best.
That's
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, no one can be Lulu.
no.
It has to be said right off the bat that no one can be Lulu.
Even Lulu has a hard time being Lulu.
You're right.
Sometimes she goes to Lulu for Lulu. But we should not.
want to go full Lulu.
Don't let hey Trevor.
fool- yeah.
Don't let her down.
Oh, I won't.
Show her.
I won't.
Here it is.
I'd never let her down.
No.
And
the
she.
Logan.
Oh, I won't. No, I'm not. I'm
Oh,
just waiting
no.
for the right time.
There's no right time for
Oh,
that.
there's always a right time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think she watches the show usually after we all do. So there's usually like this influx of comments. So she's going to hear us talking about her, and I'm sure we'll all get tagged in this episode. And we
Good.
should let people also know that.
This reminds me of when I was attractive.
Been a long time.
Those
man.
were the good old days.
You know what?
Those were
One
the
of these
good
days, I don't know. How's your dad's hair pattern going? Is it looking dire for you? How widowsies are we gonna get, dude?
It's just trying to leave his face.
Oh, okay. So I was just gonna say, at some point, maybe there'll just be like a little
But
flock of hair
I'm
out
doing,
there.
My hair's pretty good.
No, you're doing all right,
pretty
man.
good.
You got that pompadour.
So I'm trying to keep the stress down, keep that hair up. You know what I'm saying? If push comes to shove, I guess I don't know what I'll do.
No
Shave my head.
Well, you could always get.
Plugs work.
I'll
yeah.
get plugs. I'll just wear wigs.
How expensive
or
are
hats.
plugs?
I
Or
don't know.
hats.
Or hats?
Or
Yeah.
hats.
Hats
Yeah,
are your
I
friend.
could get
or go bald.
Get one of our new Liberty Tree hats.
There you
Oh,
go.
Hey,
buddy.
hey there.
Flashing it
Or
up.
I'll go. Hey there. How are we doing?
That looks really good. You look,
Or
you look like
the
a Boy
creme de la
Scout.
creme, the Richardson.
Oh.
hey there. I date me in that
Richardson?
hat for sure.
Richardson. So we shot some suppressors today.
We did
22
We
especially.
decided to take out all the 22 suppressors we had in store, test them out, shoot them, see what they sound like, see if there's any big difference between the suppressors, and we kind of did tell a little difference between certain suppressors.
Definitely could tell a little difference.
We had the dead air mask here that we shot. Nice little suppressors.
Oh, yeah.
About 6 ounces. It's one of the heavier suppressors, but it's also should be one of the quietest. One of my personal ones, the El Camino here. It's a nice long, about 4 ounces, steel and titanium. It's full auto rated. They're pretty fantastic. And then the other ones we have on the guns back here, you can kind of see the erector.
Erector.
I don't know how I always do this. Right.
Close. There you go.
Right
Yeah.
there.
And then there's the
And then-
SR something.
Yeah, you got the Ruger, which is, it's going to be here, right there on that CZ457 Jaguar. And then you have the Sparrow right on the Taurus GX22 right there.
Yeah, the slow approach is definitely the right approach.
It is the right approach. But we took all those out. We shot them with supersonic ammunition, subsonic ammunition. And it was pretty fantastic.
You know what I wish?
What do you wish?
I wish I would have had one of these suppressors last weekend. 4th of July.
Oh.
About 12:30 in the morning.
And
People
why?
shooting off fireworks. You know.
What are you getting at, Alan?
What are you
if,
saying?
If they could figure out a way to suppress those fireworks,
fireworks.
you know, to where you just see the big boom.
The show instead of
Just
the boom?
show.
It doesn't help to put it under a trash can.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Does it amplify the sound?
Well, the trash can doesn't exactly end up the same place it was when you started.
Fair enough.
Oh, snap.
Fair enough. Now, how many trash cans do you? How many times you get to use the trash can? Just once and it's done.
Well, it depends on the trash can.
And what are you firing into that trash can? Like one of the Mamma Jammas?
Well, you don't want to go with a cherry bomb, I'll tell you that.
I think next year maybe Brian will have to get his own fireworks stand. Crazy Brian.
Oh, there you go. Well, crazy's already taken.
Well,
we need
yeah.
more like sociopathic Brian's fireworks stand.
There we go.
Or insane or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Sociopathic.
Psychopathic or something. Yeah.
Logan,
Captain
how'd-
Insano.
Yeah, what's up?
What?
How'd you do this year on the big 4th of July family washer
Oh,
tournament?
we should tell everyone about that. So,
Yeah. Chiefs come win the whole thing?
Yeah, the Chiefs came marching in. Every year we have a washer tournament at my family's 4th of July party. And if you're not familiar, washers is like cornhole, except instead of one big hole, you have 5 smaller holes on the board, 2 up top, 1 in the middle, 2 on bottom, and you throw washers. They're about yay big. You throw washers into the hole, you get points, whatnot. Okay, we do this every year. We always put money down per team. So there's a prize at the end. If you win, you get all the money. But
So then do the other people stand around like place bets like, yeah, I'll take 20 on the
They
guys
kinda talked
playing
about
against-
it. They
guys against Logan and his dad.
they kind of talked about it.
They're going down
they
this year.
kind of talked about it this
No?
week.
Yeah.
Or not this week, but this year. I don't know if anyone did, but there was a little extra gambling after the tournament was done with additional washer, like one-on-ones. Like, I'll beat you. $20 says I'll beat you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But we do double elimination. I always partner with my dad, or at least for the past few years, because we've won it the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, you're the team to beat. Now,
We are the team to beat.
Now, what the problem is I'm not in your family. Okay,
That's true.
Because if I was in your family, I would crush you. I'd
Okay.
crush you all.
That's-
now the
remains
reason
to
I
be
would
seen.
crush you is because I'm excellent.
You're an
but
excellent washer
also
player?
I need a weigh in. I need a weigh in. So
Oh,
you got
I
any-
see what's happening.
you got
Logan have any
Nope.
sisters?
Nope.
Trevor.
Nope. Don't have any sisters.
nope.
No
nope.
sisters?
I
No
just-
brothers.
hey, look, man,
nothing.
Aunts?
This is wholesome. I just
Aunts,
want
cousins,
the competition.
cousins?
Yeah, of
Nieces?
course. Of course.
Yeah, it'll
Nope.
just be
No.
on paper.
Okay.
I'm
maybe
the only
not
one.
nieces.
My entire
Nieces?
family.
This will just
It's just
be
me.
a on paper situation.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Just me.
Nothing more than that. Also, I'll be
No one else
expecting
in
a
the family.
dowry, a nice dowry.
What if Logan
acre of land.
adopted you, Trevor?
Oh,
Wouldn't that be
Daddy
great?
Logie, I like it. Now I will be
Upgrading from
calling
baby
you
Logie
to
to
Daddy.
Daddy Logie.
I will be calling you Daddy.
Yeah.
That's the only. That's the right
freaking-
thing.
That's weird.
Big Daddy Logan.
Let's get back to the washers, okay?
Let's
I
talk
wanna
about
this.
washers. He doesn't want to talk about parenting.
So we do double elimination, okay? And this year, we got to about our 4th or 5th game, and we lost
Oh,
for the first time.
no.
Okay, super sad. But it's double elimination, so we're still in it.
Right.
Oh.
So we drop down to the losers bracket, okay? And we have to beat all the teams in the losers bracket
Losers.
to get up to the people that haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
And so we managed to do that. The
Sounds pretty
winners of the
intense.
losers bracket, it was me and my dad against my brother and my mom.
Oh.
And I was worried my dad was going to throw it because that's his wife. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, snap.
No, you
So
can't
I
be
go
having
ahead.
that.
I go ahead and win it for us with
You're
like
right.
a bajillion points.
Was he trying to throw it for you guys?
He just doesn't want to beat his wife.
Why not?
And
That
you
sounds
shouldn't
bad
beat
on the
your
radio.
mother,
He does
Logan.
not
Never
want to
beat your
beat his
You
wife
shouldn't beat your
at
mother.
washers
You should
Right.
let your mother
specifically
win.
or in general ever.
Well, That's a bummer. 'Cause
So-
I would crush you all.
Yeah, so we beat them, and now we're facing the winners. The problem is the winners haven't lost yet, and it's double elimination. So we have to beat them twice, and they were the ones that beat us the first time.
Oh.
Okay, so we come in, we're a little timid. Okay,
Yeah.
but we remained optimistic. We threw some good games the first game, and we came out ahead by about 5-6 points. Okay, and then I started thinking, maybe we can win this game.
Yeah.
So
What did the ESPN announcers think? Did they think that you
They
had
thought
the
we were gonna
oppo-
lose.
They thought
They thought we were gonna lose.
Man.
Were you on the Ocho for this one?
yeah, you got to go check us out. It was pretty intense. But we come in for that third game, okay? And so this is it. Whoever wins, period. And we're throwing them out, and I managed to land 10 points in one throw, and we end up winning. And then everyone hated us because we won 4 years in a row.
Well, that's just because they're not winners. I won't
And
say they're
then
losers.
I
but they're
almost
not
had
winners.
to defend myself, and luckily, U.S. Law Shield was there to back me up. Because they are
Nice.
legal defense for your self-defense. And they're absolutely a fantastic service. If you ever find yourself in a self-defense altercation where you have to defend your life or a loved one or your family or property, you're going to want them in your corner, okay? They're legal defense for your self-defense. And I lost where I was going with that, which was weird. But
Liberty
how they work essentially is that whenever you get in one of these scenarios, you give them a call. You have an attorney on call always 24/7. You give them a call, they'll back you up, they'll help walk you through the process, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, kind of thing. And it's all at a low rate when you use promo code Liberty Tree on their website. You get $10.95 at the Gun Shop Show. I kind of lost it there.
It's okay. You lose Liberty Tree and get some perks. U.S. Law Shield.
There you go. Thanks.
Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key...
To success!
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key.
To success!
Or if you lock your keys in your
To
car...
success!
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust.
Carthage Lock and Key! To success!
Our member is involved in a brief road rage incident. One driver cuts off another in traffic, and harsh words and gestures soon follow. After the pleasantries are exchanged, our driver goes on his way assuming the incident is over. However, still agitated, the other driver calls 911 and reports our member as aggressive, possibly having seen a weapon in his hand. In reality, what he saw was our member flipping him the bird. In an incident that can only be described as an overreaction by officers, our member is pulled over. When officers learn that he carries a legal concealed firearm, they arrest him despite a lack of evidence. This incident is just one of numerous member experiences. Be aware when traveling with a firearm. Any aggressive actions made by you, right or wrong, can land you in jail. Don't let it happen to you.
Talk about it. What? Yeah. Here we go. 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44. Crap. 44,000.
We're Dirt Road Comedy, and when we're not traveling around in our luxurious RV, we like to listen to a gun shop show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show.
Thanks.
If you're just tuning in and you want to win a chance to get a $100 Liberty Tree gift card, all you have to do is share the feed and tag 5 friends. And for our listeners on the radio who are like, or the podcast who are like, share the feed. What is he
What
talking about?
is he talking about? Chicken feed?
Oh, we're not talking about chicken feed. We're talking about the Facebook feed. You're going to want to go over to Facebook, type in Liberty Tree Guns. You'll see us there live. You'll see all our pretty faces. All you have to do is share that feed and tag 5 friends for a chance to win this $100 gift card.
Hey, man, thanks for taking the path of hammer and not hurting us. That was a good one. That was a good joke, guys.
Huh?
Huh? All right,
Yeah, you
let's
lost
move
me.
it.
Yeah.
Moving
You
on.
lost me.
You probably don't know who MC Hammer is.
Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, no, I'm too young for that.
Right? Yeah. I forget that sometimes you just crawled out of diapers.
It's true. So we did something that we haven't done in a while on the show.
No.
What did we do?
What did we do?
I think we went out and we shot some guns.
We did shoot guns.
And not just any guns. We shot guns with suppressors.
You're right. Because July is it's National Suppressor Month.
It's National Freedom Month is what it is.
That's it. It's always.
We just celebrated the 4th of July, Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to everybody out there.
Yeah, and to do that, we did the opposite of fireworks. We did suppressed.
With loud bangs, we went as quiet as possible with
It
firearms.
was like this. That's what it sounded.
And one of them was like this.
I think another one went.
So if you...
It was just a good thing there were no crickets out there.
Right.
They would have...
I would have picked them off.
Yeah,
I definitely would have picked them
Yeah, we
off.
could have heard some crickets.
Like the ones from my joke earlier, guys, about MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Like that joke.
They're going to be there. Yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
Crash
They were there.
and burn.
The nice thing about suppressors are that not everyone knows is that you can own suppressors. It just takes a little bit more time and paperwork as opposed to a firearm.
Yeah.
And our suppressor kiosk makes that incredibly easy, about as easy as you can make it.
It is. And hey, so
what's up?
Jay is with us. Jay joined us.
Jay joined us? Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet.
So I don't know if he can hear us, but we're gonna wrap up this segment here in a little bit, Jay, and we'll be right with you.
The Jay he's referring to is Jay from PEW Science. He's pretty much the master of suppressors and suppressor testing.
He the man.
Pretty much the man in charge of that stuff. He's kind of setting the industry standard for all that stuff. We'll have him on later to talk about suppressors.
So would
22 suppressors in
would he
particular.
be considered a pew professor?
I would say so.
I guess so.
A pew-fresser.
A pew fresher.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It's
if you
pretty
haven't heard me say
corny.
it before.
It's pretty
It is.
corny.
Well, corn's where we're in the Midwest, guys. A lot of corn around here.
That's true.
That doesn't surprise me though, because I've seen Trevor miss quite a few shots that he did take.
So we shot 5 22 suppressors.
That's right.
Today. And we wanted to see kind of the differences, and it's going to be harder to tell with 22 because they all fit pretty well. But we took 5 of the really popular ones.
Yeah.
We took them out for like an initial hearing test. We didn't have any machines to record any of this as far as decibels or sound ratings or anything like that. Just our initial opinions on how quiet the suppressors are. And I can tell you, they're pretty dang quiet. You can't really go wrong with any 22 suppressor that we tested out. They're all fantastic, all hearing safe, all easily hearing safe.
Instantly muted the sound of the firearm. And here's our lineup. This is what we shot today.
So from right to left, we have the Q Erector, the Ruger Silent SR, Q El Camino, the Silencer Co Sparrow, and then the very left there you have the Dead Air Mask HD. These are all 22 suppressors. We have all of these in stock if you're interested. But they're all pretty quiet.
Yeah, I'd say we did a few things. We shot the firearm without it being suppressed. We shot the firearm with subsonic and then also supersonic rounds so that you kind of get a contrast between with and without, and then even the subsonic. And I can tell you there's a noticeable difference between the 3 of those.
So I think that having your gun good and oiled, because that's going to be the most noise that you hear when you shoot with those suppressors.
Yeah, locking that bolt back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so let's dive into some of that footage that we got.
Want to play a little bit?
Yeah,
okay,
let's
so
go
this
ahead
is
and do
the Taurus TX22. This is Alan's personal firearm.
Alan with the Gun Shop Show shooting Taurus TX22 competition.
Got to load that round.
First time jitters there.
Yeah.
Red dot didn't come on until you had to shake it awake.
So that was unsuppressed.
That's
Unsuppressed.
Now with the next video coming up, I think is you shooting the same thing. I don't know if we suppressed it yet or not at that point.
I think we did. Before we roll that footage, I just want to say that as far as the listener is concerned, or the viewer, when we shot this, you can hear the initial bang, and then you can kind of hear echo downrange, and that's the bullet breaking the sound barrier. It's going over, I believe, like 1,100 feet per second is about the speed of sound. Wow,
yeah, I mean, about as fast as I throw a football or something like that.
For 22 pistols, for pistols in general, you can't shoot them unsuppressed without hearing protection because it will hurt your ears. You throw a suppressor on there, pretty much any 22 with a decent suppressor is hearing safe. You don't need hearing protection. So if you're watching and you're like, why aren't they wearing hearing protection? You don't need it.
That's a good call, because I was like, I don't know if we were suppressing here or not. And you're looking straight at the video going, hey, we were shooting suppressed.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know, man?
So let's roll that next footage. This will be suppressed with supersonic ammunition.
We'll just roll through the next few here.
Yeah.
This is Logan with the Gun Shop Show. We're shooting the TX22 competition here. We have an Erector suppressor on a hollow sun red dot. Let's test her out.
That Erector, you can take it down some, right? Have you tried doing that yet?
No, I haven't.
We should definitely try doing that and seeing what the difference is overall. How long can you make it?
It's pretty quiet.
I believe 3 more of those segments.
So there is a limit to how long you can make it.
Well, if you have more,
Gun Shop Show,
you have more than one, yeah.
Competition.
You can make it longer.
We have a Ruger Silent SR suppressor on it. We're going to test all these suppressors out, compare them to one another. This initial review is, well, let's shoot it and see how quiet it is.
Super quiet.
Yeah, that clicking is the slide. And that's all you really hear.
We were shooting supers out of this, not subs, so they were breaking the sound barrier. Hearing safe, but you could hear a little bit of echo down the range.
Competition. We threw on an El Camino.
The El Camino.
We're going to shoot it and see how quiet.
Prepared to hear that a lot.
Just subjectively quiet.
Subjectively. Use it with your big science terms.
Whatever.
One thing that I find awesome about this is, as you're firing that gun, the optic is not moving back and forth on the TX2 competition. The cutaway for the optic means it stays
Logan with the Gun Shop Show.
steady, so you keep your sight picture much easier.
Yeah, we can talk about more of that. I can bring it down.
This is the Sparrow. This is Alan's personal suppressor. And other people did fire guns, but it wasn't until after this one, I think.
And we moved the target closer because it was way too far away to hit reliably.
You couldn't even see it. All right, this is
Logan with the Gun Shop
the last suppressor here.
TX22 competition. We have a Dead Air Mask HD on here. We're going to shoot it.
It's going dead air.
And hopefully not hear anything.
Oh, I heard it. I heard that one too.
Keep running that slider loose. But that was pretty quiet.
It was super quiet.
It was really quiet. The Dead Air Mask, at least as far as the TX22 and supersonic ammunition is concerned, was probably the quietest 22 can we had out there.
You're saying even with the supersonic?
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
It wasn't like you wouldn't be able to pick it out from a lineup, but you could tell it was quieter.
Yeah, with an attuned ear. We'll have one on next to be able to underscore that for us.
For sure. We'll be right back. Next up, we're going to have Jay from PEW Science on. We're going to talk some 22 suppressors. Stay with us. This is the Gun Shop Show.
Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Game wardens have seen it all. Learn from them. How in the world does a dog shoot a man? When proper safety is completely completely ignored. For example, a Texas hunter was shot and killed by his own dog. With the safety off, the dog stepped on his loaded shotgun in the bed of his pickup truck. Somehow, his paw got in the trigger guard and discharged the shotgun. Tragically, the 46-year-old math teacher was struck in the thigh and died. A hunter in Minnesota was shot in the leg when his dog jumped aboard his boat. And a bulldog in Florida shot his owner while they were driving to a hunting spot. Believe it or not, these astonishing cases are all true, and game wardens have seen it all. Hunters and anglers, that is why we are so pleased to announce our brand new series of exciting events featuring retired game wardens and experienced lawyers who hunt, whose sole purpose is to keep you safe on the hunt or on the water and on the right side of the law. Each event is designed to give hunters and anglers the essential law that they need to stay out of trouble, plus provide the opportunity for real questions and answers from these highly trained professionals in a fun and interactive manner. If you hunt, fish, or love someone that does, you owe it to yourself to attend. Best of all, it's sponsored by your friends at Texas Law Shield, so you know it will be great. As always, stay armed, stay educated, and register for a sportsman law seminar today.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his original framing. Just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. Have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the Woodshed, had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
If I wasn't watching the Gun Shop Show, I wouldn't be as cool as I am.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. If you want to get entered in to win a chance for a $100 Liberty Tree gift card, all you have to do
$100.
$100. 100. It's a lot of money. Kind of sometimes.
Generous.
Mm-hmm. It is generous. All you have to do is share the feed and tag 5 friends. That's it. It's super simple.
What if I tag 5 friends but I don't share the feed? Am I still eligible to win?
No, you're not eligible.
No,
You'll have to share
the
that
whole
feed
thing.
too. You have to tag 5 friends and also share the feed.
Yeah. Pretty easy to do. It's like 2
pretty
button
easy.
pushes.
Little
Pretty
button down
easy.
at the bottom by your name.
It's super easy. Even Brian can do it. If Brian can do it, anyone can do it.
What's that say
I'm
about
just kidding,
Brian?
No, that's true. I'm not going to argue.
But we are joined by, I figured since we're talking about suppressors, we might as well talk to the king of suppressors.
The man.
Or at least the best one, the most innovating as far as suppressor testing reviews go, and that is Jay from PEW Science. He is the director and...
He's a technical director
and owner of PEW Science. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm very good. Pleasure to be here again, guys.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back on. It's been a while. What you been up to? Anything interesting? Any new suppressor stuff that you found out that was just blew you away?
Yeah, there's been a lot of really good research published on pewscience.com. I don't know how closely you guys follow it. The most recent data has been characterizing subsonic performance of some rifle silencers. Most recently, the Surefire SOCOM 762 RC2. On subsonic 300 blackout out of an 8-inch barrel. So that was released. And also today, I'm not sure if this is live or when your listeners will hear this, but today on July 7th, I released a podcast episode explaining the technical characteristics of that silencer and how it performs in subsonic flow versus supersonic flow, and how different silencers have different fingerprints in those different flow regimes and pressure regimes, and how the performance can be vastly different depending on how they're designed.
So like the sound
so tell that to
waves
me,
or fingerprint?
Tell it to me like I'm 5.
Okay. So the purpose of a silencer is to reduce the sound signature perceived by both the shooter and the bystanders, right?
Sure.
Okay, so in order to do that, it has to trap and slow the propagation of expanding gas from the barrel after the bullet leaves. When the gas is high pressure and moving fast, the silencer may behave differently than when the gas is low pressure and moving slowly.
Gotcha.
So different silencers perform differently with subsonic cartridges and supersonic cartridges.
So what you're saying is that there's a potential for a suppressor to be better at suppressing subsonic versus supersonic comparatively to another suppressor. Like one may be better at suppressing supersonic ammunition than it is subsonic ammunition and vice versa.
Absolutely. And some are really good at both, but it's very rare.
Gotcha.
Well, that's pretty good deduction.
Actually,
there.
that makes a lot of sense because SIG is getting ready to release new suppressors that do just that. You'll have some for supersonic ammunition and the sub for subsonic ammunition. Are you familiar with any of those suppressors?
Are you speaking about their 3D printed rifle silencers?
Yes. They're newer ones. They haven't released them yet.
SIG hasn't shared technical data for those silencers with anybody, so I'm not sure anybody knows anything about them.
I just saw someone was talking about them on maybe the Firearm blog.
Is there any real great benefit to making a suppressor not work for both super and subsonic rounds? Why would you make one specific for one and not for the other?
For a use case, and also because folks might not understand how to make a silencer correctly. A lot of folks that manufacture silencers aren't really aware of why the silencers may perform like they do. However, there are some silencer manufacturers that, despite not knowing exactly why, they do make silencers purpose-built for certain cartridges. Two really common examples in the market you can kind of see is Surefire, for example. The 760 RC2 I just spoke about, really good for for supersonic flow on a rifle when reducing back pressure. For example, like a semi-automatic or fully automatic weapon, the RC2 series is designed to not affect weapon function as much and still do a decent job at suppressing sound and flash, whereas their 300 SPS is better on subsonic, but of course suffers from restricting gas flow a lot. So if you put it on a host weapon that's sensitive to gas, for example, an overgassed 30 caliber weapon, well, you're gonna have a bad time because it's gonna influence your weapon function negatively. But so that's a real example from a real manufacturer offering products that are purpose built for different uses. You wouldn't put an RC2 on a gun you want to be really quiet. It is not on a subsonic gun. It just wouldn't make sense. Whereas you also wouldn't put a 300 SPS on a Mark 18. You see what I mean? Silencers are a system. Not every weapon can use a silencer correctly. Not every weapon is good with every silencer. Another example would be Q. Q makes rifle silencers. They make Thunder Chicken, Trash Panda, Full Nelson, Half Nelson. Those are purpose-built subsonic rifle silencers. They can work on supersonic, but they're not going to be ideal performance-wise.
To clarify Trevor's question, they will still, it'd be a performance issue. They will still suppress the sound, but it just won't be the same. You'll get a better suppression or quieter if it's built for subsonic or if it's built. But you'll still, vice versa, get a suppression of the sound.
Right.
It's just a performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll work.
No, I mean, they'll work.
But the performance will be less.
And you're saying that most of the time when that's the case is just happenstance more than planning, or in some instances it is.
Well, it's not necessarily happenstance in so many words. For example, when a company designs a product purpose-built in some way, or they're chasing a goal and it ends up working okay for another goal, who's to say what their exact thought process was? Maybe they say, okay, good enough. But if they were really chasing both, you would end up with something different if they're capable of it. And then we do see that in some designs, like for example, Dead Air Nomad technology, CGS Hyperion technology. Anything with a derivative Omega baffle that has some kind of, we can get really technical, but basically some silencers can be jacks of all trades, and we know why now. I mean that's part of the reason why I publish what I do on the website. So we can figure out exactly why, and the hope is to make silencers better overall.
So is it a big difference that with just a normal ear, you would hear a dramatic difference, like a lot of decibel different, or is it just a small decibel difference that with testing equipment you can pick up that small decibel change?
That's an excellent question. The difference ranges from minimal to extreme. Some and without getting too off in the weeds, you mentioned decibels. At PEW Science, we use a rating system called the suppression rating that I developed. It takes into account the peak sound pressure measured in decibels, like you're saying, sir. But it also looks at the duration of the pressure, and we use anatomical hearing models to compute exactly how your ear is going to interpret it. So when you see a pretty big suppression rating gap, you can be assured that you're going to hear physically a gigantic gap in sound suppression. So, there are some silencers that, frankly, the difference is monumental to where the weapon system is going to sound completely different. I mean, even with the Surefire silencers, Surefire Silcom 762 RC2 and a 300 SPS on 300 blackout, bro, completely different signature.
Yeah,
completely different signature. Take for example, I don't know, a Q Trash Panda on a 308 bolt gun hunting deer. Right? You put a Dead Air Nomad on that gun hunting deer, completely different day for you. Way quieter.
Well, Jay, we're going to be coming up on a break here in just a second. Just wanted to let you know that. But before we go, I had an awesome idea. I think it's awesome, and it's probably just because I'm biased. But
don't like it already.
Right. Sell little decals of the sound impression of the sound signatures of the suppressors.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's pretty niche insider.
Yeah, like a little
yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
I mean, because every silencer does have a fingerprint.
For
okay,
sure.
we'll be right back. It's the Gun Shop Show.
See, you thought it was going to be a bad idea.
No, actually, that's a good idea.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
Hi, I'm Eli Pagginson. When I'm not fighting red flag laws, playing games, or writing, I'm listening to The Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. We're giving away a $100 Liberty Tree gift card. All you have to do to get entered in for a chance to win that is share the feed and tag 5 friends. That's it.
That's easy.
That's super simple. That's it.
Done.
Have you shared and tagged 5 friends yet?
You should have. If
They
not,
don't even have to be good friends.
I really don't.
Do you have no friends?
If you don't have any friends, tag Trevor 5 times.
Yeah. I'll be your friend 5 times over.
Yeah. He needs friends. Really tag him.
I'm really lonely, guys.
But we went out and shot some 22 suppressors today. And Jay, I just wanted your thoughts on 22 suppressors in general and what makes a good 22 suppressor.
Yes, sir.
Two completely different questions, but
well, that's okay. First of all, congratulations on shooting 22 silencers. They're pretty much the best silencer you can possibly get. If someone doesn't have a silencer, I always recommend their first silencer be a 22.
Yeah, it's the most fun.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's cheap to shoot. You get some CCI, standard velocity ammunition. You spend all day with it. I think, in my opinion, the characteristics that make a 22 silencer the best. First of all, it's got to be quiet because that's the whole point of shooting suppressed 22. You want to giggle like a little girl. You want it to be awesome.
Yeah,
you want to introduce new shooters to weapons. You want to have your grandma shoot your Ruger Mark III in the backyard. That's what you want. That's the name of the game. So for me, it's sound, and with sound comes first round pop due to the extra combustion that happens due to oxygen in the silencer before the first shot. So if you don't have a 22 silencer that performs well with first round pop, you need to think about getting a new one. So that's sound is number one for me with 22. Bottom line. There's no excuse now.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no excuse now for a loud 22 silencer. No, let me guess. You shot a Sparrow?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, has his first round pop's no bueno, right?
I mean, it's tolerable, but it was definitely noticeable compared to the other ones.
Right.
Definitely noticeable, and there's no excuse for that. The second thing you really want to have is something that's easy to clean. 22, it's not jacketed ammunition; it's rim fire. It's going to be dirty. That lead is going to vaporize. It's going to coat the internals of that silencer. Anyone who's shoot 22 for a long time, you shoot your old Ruger Mark 1, 2, 3 guns, Mark 4, you shoot your old, bolt action, your Ruger 1022 rifle, it's going to cake with lead. When you put a silencer on that, it's really going to increase that debris in the weapon system, and in the silencer itself, it's going to cake with lead. And lead, it's not good to deal with that. So a lot of 22 silencers come apart. And, cleaning them can be a challenge, but can be easy when you can put it in like a tumbler or like an ultrasonic cleaner. And if your baffles are stainless steel, it makes it really easy because you're not going to hurt the baffles with harsh chemicals and tumbling and stuff. So I like to, nowadays, 22 silencers are pretty good. The modern ones, and they're easy to clean, and a lot of the ones that even have stainless baffles are pretty light, which used to be a bad thing. It used to be the steel baffles were heavy, but now they've got it down to a science, and a lot of the silencers are pretty light, so you can get a steel one that's pretty good. So those are my two favorite things, quiet and easy to clean, I think.
Is that how modern has it been that they've made those advancements? Has it been pretty recent with the growth and demand of silencer or suppressors?
That's a really good question. Actually, it wasn't maybe between 10 and 15 years ago that a lot of silencer manufacturers didn't want to make silencers that disassemble for cleaning for whatever reason. It does increase the cost. It increases the complexity. It increases customer service issues because the consumer can take it apart and not put it back together correctly, or they can break it when they take it apart. But, consumers they were spending $200 on a tax stamp, and it used to be, maybe we wait 3 months for a Form 4. That was, kind of like the upper end back in the day. Now, these wait times are getting up to a year. So people have a low tolerance for a product that doesn't have longevity. So consumers are forced change in the industry, and it ended up, the demand forced manufacturers to change to make user serviceable silencers, particularly with 22. And we owe that to the enthusiast community on the internet, really. That's who we owe that to.
The consumer knows best. Yeah. Typically.
It does. Because, at the end of the day, we're the ones using the silencers. Yeah. And the 22 silencers in pretty much everyone's stable, or it should be. So, it's really interesting. And you're not going to hear this from anybody else, but 22 silencers are the gateway drug. A silencer company will spend a lot of time on the 22 silencer because it's easy to make quiet and there's low pressures, so it's easy to make not explode. So a silencer company is going to drag you into their brand with a 22 silencer, then they're going to upsell you on later ones. And that's how they build brand loyalty. So 22 silencers are a big part of the market, and they're important. They're important for the industry.
So, Jay, I'll admit to being a newbie. So is it appropriate for me to call my suppressor a suppressor or call it a silencer? You know, which one is it? Is it kind of...
That's a great question. Either one, sir. Either one. The ATF official designation is silencer. I mean, that's what's going to be on the Form 4. That's what they're called. The inventor of the silencer, Maxim, back in the day, in the early 1900s, he called them a silencer. But they suppress sound. They suppress flash. They suppress signature. So you can call them a suppressor. I don't have any heartburn with that. I don't think anyone should. So.
I figure if you use them one word or the other, someone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just want
absolutely.
When I talk about it, like,
hey, man, Alan's trying to get back with the young crowd.
Silencer went out
Gotta be hip.
the other day.
Just throwing keggers and buying silencers.
Silencer makes you think of James Bond.
Go ahead.
Can't. Oh no, that
I was going to ask if you got
makes you think of James.
I'm sorry.
For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's why a lot of people fall in love with them. I was going to ask if you guys want me to talk about the weapon function with the flow restriction or back pressure.
Sure. Yeah. You said you think of a suppressor as a system. Does that encapsulate also the firearm you're using as part of that system, or just the suppressor?
Absolutely. A small arm weapon system with a silencer is a system. A suppressed small arm weapon system should be considered holistically. So, a very common system would be an AR-15, for example. Very ubiquitous platform. The Stoner system, it's brilliant, direct impingement, reliable, awesome for home defense, for hunting, for anything. I mean, the AR-15 is one of the best weapon systems we have. When you add a silencer to it, it completely changes the system. So there's some things you need to remain cognizant of when you do that. Does it suppress enough for your use case? You can look at data on pewscience.com to figure that out. But we also have things like back pressure. Whenever you introduce something to the end of a barrel, you're going to change how the gas can propagate out of it and the rate at which it does. We call that the mass flow rate. Okay, so you're going to restrict the pressure. Well, with a firearm like the AR-15, you have a gas system and you have a gas port, and there's a time at which that gas port is under pressure. We call that dwell time. That's the time the bullet takes to pass the gas port and get out of the muzzle. That length of time, it's very small in time, but it's important. That length of time it takes for the bullet to pass the gas port and get out of the muzzle, that's called dwell time. It's for that duration that gas from the combustion products are pushed through the gas tube back to your carrier, and then they start to unlock your carrier, move it rearward. The cam path actuates the bolt turns, unlocks in the barrel extension, reciprocates. Okay, if you have too much impulse, meaning you have too much pressure for a long enough time during that dwell time, too much gas through that gas tube, you're going to unlock too early. What happens when you unlock too early? Well, you opened your pressure system before it had time. The pressure in the barrel dropped to atmosphere. What happens then? Well, you get a big pressure pulse out of your ejection port. That's a bad time for you as the shooter. Okay.
Does that affect the
we call that
muscle
gas blowback, right? We call that gas blowback out of the AR. Why does that happen? It happens because it unlocked too early. Why did it unlock too early? Gun wasn't tuned for the silencer. What can you do about that? Adjustable gas block. Added inertial resistance behind the carrier with a heavier buffer. Okay, you can tune a gun, make it smooth as butter, but you got to tune it. It's a system. You add a silencer, you don't add, and so different silencers add different flow restriction, and we've quantified that at pewscience.com with the omega metric is what I called it. And there's a whole, if you're a nerd and you want to look and see how I did it, it's all the mathematical derivations all on there from test data, so you can go wild. But it exists. It exists. So
finally,
so using that explanation, theoretically, you would get lower performance from a bolt action rifle than you would with a semi-automatic rifle, because a bolt action doesn't have anywhere for the gas to escape except for the end of the barrel?
That's a good question. Actually, you will get typically quieter performance from a bolt gun because you're constraining the gas exit through the silencer. You don't have any other pressure release. So to the shooter, to you,
everything's coming out the end of the barrel. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's going to be quieter to you, and that's why bolt guns are so fun with silencers.
Hey, Jay, we got about a minute left. You want to let folks know where they can find you and what you have going on?
Yes, sir. PEWScience.com.
And a freeze frame.
I think we lost you.
Yep. Oh. And maybe he'll come back to us. Well, we'll have links in the show notes for Jay and PEW Science.
And if you're interested in suppressors, you're wanting to check out PEWScience.com for sure. He has a bunch of suppressor data. Like, it goes really, really in depth. You can support him through a membership. I'm a member currently. You get provided a lot more in-depth information that way. You still get the suppressor rating that he was mentioning earlier as just a passerby for free, so you don't have to pay for that. It's a fantastic place to look for your suppressor information. Any knowledge you need is in there as far as suppressors goes, and he's testing more suppressors every week.
Yeah,
so it's just always expanding. He's a fantastic resource. He's really innovating the way that suppressors are being made through this testing, because we're finding out that the suppressors that have claimed to be the best aren't really what they all claim to be.
You get away with that stuff sometimes,
and now
there's no one justifying.
And now he's putting their feet to the fire. Hey, there he is.
And
anyway, we'll be right back.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that.
And then also, it's covering up my face. So just get a picture like from their Facebook page, because that's the best place. And then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right. I'll do better this time.
Then and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
old glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Our member's girlfriend is on her way to pick up her kids from her ex-husband's house. She asked our member to tag along because of her ex's temper. As they arrive at the home, her ex emerges yelling and gesturing. He approaches his ex-wife and grabs her, attempting to drag her inside. Fearing for her life, our member, a trained CHL holder, jumps out of the car with his gun drawn and demands the ex-husband release her. Seeing the gun, the assailant retreats. The situation then takes a bizarre turn as the assailant dials 911 to report our member. As a result of the aggressor's lies, our member was wrongfully arrested. Our member had to undergo lengthy legal proceedings. However, he was ultimately cleared of all charges.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. With 40 plus sizing positions. Styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key
to success.
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key
to success.
Or if you lock your keys in your car.
Success.
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key to success!
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Hey there, we got your lab results back. It looks like you have a fever, and the only prescription is more Gun Shop Show.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Logan, like always.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did that, because I should be doing this and giving you a chance to win a $100 gift card.
Find us online.
This right here, look at this.
Get us on that Facebook.
That is $100. All you have to do to
you're
maybe
it.
win that is share the feed and tag 5 friends.
It's
that
that
makes more
easy.
sense. That's why I said tag. I was confused.
Yeah.
But tag your friends and share the feed to get entered in for a chance to win that.
Pretty simple stuff, bud.
Super easy. And you can spend that on anything you want in the store, whether it be a suppressor, money towards a tax stamp for a suppressor. You could put in a $1,000 gun on a layaway using the Freedom Buyers Club. It's pretty much whatever you want.
Also, whenever I ask people if they want to win a $100 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns, probably not going to get my post yanked.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
They've been trying to censor us and suppress us, wink, wink. And probably why you
And by
haven't
they,
seen
we're
as
talking
much.
about FB.
Yep, FB.
Yeah, pretty heavily. Not only that, other things, but I don't want to go
Unfortunately,
into that.
not FWB, just FB.
I'm not sure what FWB is. That like IWB or OWB?
No, not even a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe later you can tell me what it means. But
I'll tell
right
you
now,
in
let's
secret.
talk about suppressors.
Suppressors,
I
22
tell you what,
suppressors.
I'd like to talk about Jay. That guy, you
Yeah.
know, for being a smart guy, I mean, you can tell he knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But he was very easy to understand.
For being a
in
smart
it.
guy.
He knows what he's talking about. He makes us all look dumb, especially me.
Well, Logan.
I is dumb.
It's, buddy, hang in there. Hang in there.
Sometimes.
Get your baba.
It'd be okay.
But
Be okay, Logan.
yeah, he is just a wealth
Very-
of knowledge
very
for
knowledgeable.
suppressors. It is it's ridiculous, and
And
I
you
would love
know,
to talk to him all day about this stuff.
Jay, one of these days we're going to have Jay on and we're going to do a whole show with Jay.
We
And
should.
you're all going to get to know Jay and you're going to get to know that and I'm going to call him a scientist. He may refer to himself as an engineer, but anyone who studies something and
It
documents
sounds
is
like
a
science to
scientist.
me.
But for a scientist, super personable, you know, because I always think of scientists as being super stuffy, antisocial.
And they say words that you don't understand.
Yeah, and they're using big words.
He did use propagate, you know.
There were some big words
That
in
was-
there.
that was a
Yeah.
I
big
understood
word.
them though. He said them in a way that makes me understand.
You had him explain stuff to you like you were 5, which is what we all needed, and we appreciate that,
Yeah.
Logan.
I
Not
barely-
that you're actually 5.
I barely understood the explanation on 5. So.
Okay,
I was
he's like
thinking
3.
He should do an ABCs of suppressors.
I'm fresh from the
Picture
womb.
book.
Please explain it to me.
Right.
Give
Yeah,
me a
maybe
picture book.
maybe he could meet up with what's the Pew Pew Jew, and they should do a book together, maybe the Pew Pew Science book, and he could do because he writes mostly that I've noticed. Well, not mostly, but he's written some children's books.
Do you know what I forgot to mention?
What did you forget to mention?
Actually, I didn't forget to mention. I was going to mention it, but now I am.
Yeah, mention it.
He sent me the shirt idea that I had. I guess
Oh,
my idea.
Yeah,
He put it on a shirt and sent it to me. I should.
Now, in the post, did he give you credit for it? I'll talk to him about that.
I have no idea. He just sent it to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say,
But I
bet
should.
he did.
I should have brought the picture signed. He had.
the picture signed he had.
He had a signed picture of himself. I don't really want to explain it because you just have to see it.
Was he
but
like-
it was fantastic.
Was he in like a banana hammock or something?
No, it was a picture of Joe Exotic with a tiger. So the Tiger King.
Oh, okay.
But it had his Yehuda's face on it instead of Joe's face on it.
And then he signed it?
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Loved
Send
it.
that on over.
Loved it. Yeah. I'll have to bring it next time.
Yeah. You know what we should do, though?
We should talk about suppressors.
We should talk about suppressors.
Yeah, we kind of got off in the weeds.
It's okay. You know what? We're going to suppress that conversation with some talk of actual suppressors. In this
So what do we shoot next? Okay.
We shot the Ruger 1022.
So just to break this down again, just in case we got lost in the weeds with all that suppressor talk, we took out 3 guns, a Taurus TX22 competition, a Ruger 1022, and a CZ 457 Jaguar, and we shot them unsuppressed, suppressed with supersonic ammunition, and then suppressed with subsonic ammunition to see the differences, at least for our ears subjectively. We didn't do any objective testing, but just for our ears and for you guys to see kind of what they sound like on camera and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so the next one, we just got done shooting the TX22 competition.
Yes, we
and
did.
Unsuppressed versus suppressed, night and day. There's really no reason you shouldn't be shooting unsuppressed if you have access to a suppressor. It's fantastic.
Agreed. And I just want to put this out there because we're talking about this as if everyone who's listening understands what we're talking about, but we should let folks know the difference between super and subsonic ammunition.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good call.
Yeah. So supersonic ammunition is ammunition that breaks the sound barrier, right? So whenever you fire it, and you'll notice maybe in some of these videos that when we shoot supersonic, you'll hear a snap, and that's when it breaks the sound barrier. Now the subsonic never breaks the sound barrier, so you'll never hear that pop.
Yeah. Which means that subsonic ammunition that does not break the sound barrier is significantly quieter than that supersonic ammunition.
Yeah, it's like a movie-esque version of suppressor related sound. Like when you in the movies when you see him shoot the gun, this is the closest you're going to get a subsonic.
And we'll show you later with the
suppressed.
457 Jaguar, but let's roll that footage of that 1022.
This is Logan with the Gun Shop Show. We have the Ruger 1022. This is the mag-pull backpacker stock. We're going to shoot it out as a baseline to see how loud it is. Make sure
Yep, I think that's on there tight.
I think the thread protector was a little loose.
Yeah, I loosened him up because I was like, hey, it's getting all ready. And wasn't the right thing to do.
You kind of hear that echo as it's breaking the sound barrier. Yeah, that's my personal 1022. It's the backpacker edition. So the reason I got that, if you're listening on the radio or the podcast and you can't see what I'm talking about, so imagine a 1022, but it has a polymer stock in such a way that you can remove. This is the takedown version of the 1022. So the barrel comes off and the forend comes off.
Right.
So you can remove that, but this stock allows you to stick it into the stock itself. It's for easier carrying and transportation and whatnot.
Yeah, it was really nice, compact, and also it had a compartment in the butt stock. I don't know if that was aftermarket.
No, that comes with that stock.
Oh, nice. So you put 3 additional magazines
so you
in it.
get to take 4 of the 10-round mags with you.
It goes from 1022 to 4022.
And you can also take one of those mags out in the back, and it has space for a 50-round box of 22. So you can potentially have about 80 rounds.
Oh, wow.
On
That's
just in the gun. It's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Fantastic. I love it. But Brian shot it suppressed with the Erector, I believe. Do we have footage of that?
Yeah, we got. I think we can pull some footage up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that.
Let me see if I can.
believe this will be super. But we'll see.
Hang on a second.
Nope, not that one, guys. Let's try another one here. But just freeze framing right there. Yeah,
looking good.
This is Brian Brust for the Gun Shop Show. We're going to test out the Rector suppressor with subsonic ammo.
This is subsonic.
That's subsonic?
I think Logan shot the supersonic. We'll go back to that one here in a second.
Okay, get that safety. Oh my gosh.
Heard that ricochet.
And it might be hard to tell from just the video, but the bullet hitting the target was significantly louder than the
Gun Shop
gun.
Show shooting a Ruger 1022 with an Erector on it. We have some Federal supersonic ammunition.
So this is supersonic. Did you shoot this one off?
Pretty dang quiet.
No.
Alan with the Gun Shop Show shooting the Ruger 1022.
We put the Ruger suppressor on it.
With supersonic ammo.
So supersonic. I think, Logan, you were the only one that shot it off of target to hear the difference. We'll point those out when we get to them.
Oh, yeah, got to charge that weapon.
Yeah, chamber the round.
So you can hear that kind of echo as the bullet breaks the sound barrier.
Ruger SR.
Yeah, makes it louder.
Silencer.
Right.
Alan Alan with Gun Shop Show, shooting the SR22 silencer, the Ruger with subsonic ammo.
So this one, subsonic ammo, it's not going to break the sound barrier. Should be quieter. And you can hear just how quiet it is when he misses the target because you're not getting that ding from the target.
Oh, getting ready for quality.
This is
There's
Trevor
our
with
boy.
the Gun Shop Show. Today we are shooting supersonic, suppressed. Let's hit some target.
I don't even know what I'm shooting.
I don't know what it is, but we'll talk about it on the show.
So he has an El Camino by Q on there on the 1022.
Safety off.
Left the safety on. Safety off
Yeah,
now.
I'm showing you how to do it.
Now it's supersonic ammunition, so you're hearing that crack as it breaks the sound barrier.
Target makes a different sound when you hit it with these supersonic rounds.
Next up, I think we're shooting
This is
subs
Trevor
to
with
it.
the Gun Shop Show, shooting this Portsmouth
El Camino.
El Camino 22
El Camino.
LR
He was reading where
suppressor
it
with
was made.
subsonic ammo.
So this is subsonic. Should be quieter.
Oh yeah.
You can tell. There's no crack.
Yeah.
You hear the ping.
All you hear is the action of the gun and the plate.
Yeah.
It's Brian Brust with the Gun Shop Show. We're shooting the Ruger 1022 suppressed with the Silencer Co. Sparrow.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to
And
hear
shooting
this,
supersonic
but Jay mentioned a first round pop. That means the
Here we
first
go.
round will be a little louder. Let's see if we can actually hear that on the camera.
Sub or super? Super.
Those are supers. Oh,
Yeah.
those are supers. You're right.
He's super.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it.
Yeah, you can
Oh, you hear that
first-
sparrow
that
too?
first round.
That makes that sparrow sound.
Sparrow sound.
Pretty
Get out of
quiet.
here.
It sounds like a crow to me.
Felt
Trey.
good.
Yeah, he's cousin.
Yeah.
They're cousins.
This is Brian Brust with the Gun Shop Show. We are shooting the Ruger 1022 suppressed with subsonic rounds.
Let's see if you can hear that sparrow.
Oh, much quieter. Much quieter.
Hardly any sound at all.
You can hear the birds in the background.
Yeah, you can. Let's stop it right there,
Welcome
real
to the Gun
quick.
Shop Show, shooting a Ruger 1022 with a dead air mask.
This is the dead air, bro.
We're
Yeah,
going
we're
to
better
shoot
on
it down there.
something.
I'm not going to hit the target so we can see how quiet it is. Ready?
Just go out to break.
We're yonder.
Over there. There it is.
A little louder because those were supers, not subs. They were supers.
Yeah, get it right, host.
Got the Ruger 1022, dead air mask, shooting subs this time. Should be significantly quieter, but let's find out.
Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. We'll be right back on the Gun Shop Show.
Folks, all you're hearing is the action of the gun. It's crazy quiet.
Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Talk about it. What? Yeah, here we go. 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44. Crap. 44,000.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals. Framing just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. Have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the Woodshed. Had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
Listen here, Pilgrim. This here is the Gun Shop Show.
This just in. Logan with the Gun Shop Show, shooting a Ruger 1022 with a dead air mask, HD. We're gonna shoot it down there. I'm not gonna hit the target so we can see how quiet it is. Ready?
These are the supers, correct?
Over yonder.
I think so. Yes. Yeah, you can hear that crack.
A little louder because those were supers, not subs. They were supers.
Yep. There you go. Supers.
These are the
Got the
subs.
Ruger 1022, dead air mask, shooting subs this time. Should be significantly quieter, but let's find out.
Yeah, you're not hearing any crackdown range. There's no echo.
Yeah, all you hear is
All you're
the
hearing
action.
is the action of the gun. It's crazy quiet.
So we replayed that, even though we played it going out, but we wanted to kind of underscore the differences between the super and the sub ammunition that we were talking about earlier, that you could clearly hear that crack sound. And I mean, it is definitely breaking the sound barrier between when it leaves the muzzle and the target, which was, how far out would you say that was? 40, 50? Yards? I don't know my distances. So
for the first target or the second target?
When we moved it closer.
Probably 12 yards.
Yeah, probably 12.
Okay,
Probably
so they're
12
much
yards.
closer than what I suggested.
15 max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just goes to show you that you're breaking the sound
But-
barrier pretty quickly.
You break that sound barrier at, and fact check this for me on the Googles.
I'll
the
fact
feet
check
per
it.
second sound barrier. I believe it's about 1100, maybe 1150 feet per second.
I'm going to check you on that.
Go ahead and check me, because that could be
You better
wrong.
not mess this up, dude.
I believe you're right with 1150. That's what I'm going to put my money on.
Okay, what am I looking for here?
The sound to speed in feet per second.
Sound to speed.
Speed of sound.
Speed of sound.
Speed of sound. I'll look up the speed of sound.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. This,
So anyway,
speed of sound and feet per second.
343 meters per second.
That's not what we want.
Yeah, let me put that in English.
Yeah, please do. But anytime your round breaks that sound barrier, you hear it. You physically hear it. It's a bang. It's a loud bang. That's what makes supersonic ammunition louder.
Guys, I'm going to have to fire myself because I apparently can't find the speed of sound in
come on. You got this.
What do we like? Feet? Yeah, here we go. Feet per second. 1,100 feet per second.
Okay. So any ammunition that's 1,100 feet or over will break the speed of sound and thus be louder.
Right.
So your subsonic ammunition is usually, as far as 22 is concerned, usually around 1,000 to 950.
I was going to say 1099 is where I would put my money. But the question that I have is how far outside, once it leaves the muzzle before the sound barrier is broken? Is it immediately? I mean, it would have to be because that's when it's at its fastest, right? Gosh, man, if only we had a scientist on.
I don't believe you hear it immediately. I believe you hear it. There's a certain distance down range that it usually breaks it.
See, that's kind of what I thought, and I was curious what that was. But maybe next time we have our science guy on.
Yeah, we should ask
our PEW Science fella on. We'll talk about that.
But like I was saying, as those subs going under 1,100 feet per second leave the muzzle, that's all you're hearing. There's no additional crack. There's nothing downrange. It's just you hit the target or you don't hit the target.
Right.
And it's super quiet because of that, especially 22s.
Makes a huge difference. Yeah.
It also makes a huge difference if you shoot a semi-automatic rifle compared to like a bolt-action rifle. Like the Ruger 1022 we shot, you also have the sound of the action reciprocating back and forth as it loads rounds and unloads rounds. So it's going to make it a little louder. Now, if you get a bolt-action, all those gases are forced away from you, downrange. It's going to be quieter. They have especially on this one, they'll have a longer time to cool because the barrel's so long. But it'll be quieter. And so if you want the best experience with a 22 suppressor, you're going to want to get a bolt-action rifle. Right. They're just quieter.
Yeah,
period.
There's no action happening unless you're invoking it, and even then, like you can pull a bolt back and be pretty quiet on it. Like, I mean, I guess ultimately this is about hunting more than anything and being able to not be detected whilst you're
not
hunting.
necessarily just about hunting, but just for your hearing in general.
Yeah,
right.
Right. I'm just saying like that if you're really trying to be quiet, like if you're taking it all the way down to getting a bolt action to make that even quiet, then, being undetected is probably your primary function there. Otherwise, if you don't care,
unless you have
the action slamming back and forth isn't the problem.
Unless you have the CZ457 Jaguar, which has a 28.6-inch barrel, you're probably not worried too much about being detected because that barrel is way too long.
It's not too small; it's too thin.
It's super fun, though.
Yeah, it was. It's a nice looking rifle there, and I'd hate to burst the bubble on that thing before the end of this segment.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask our guest Brian. What his initial thoughts are shooting suppressed. This was your first time shooting suppressed.
Oh,
yeah,
my
let's
first
talk
time
about
shooting
that.
suppressed, right?
How did you feel about shooting suppressed?
I was actually surprised.
I think I
I've
heard
seen-
him giggle like a schoolgirl, like Jay said.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
we
know
had to
about-
cut the video short because he was giggling so much.
Yeah.
We're like, quiet on set over there, little girl. It's just
little
Brian.
Giggles, just little giggles.
They're like,
It was a little disturbing. And I apologize for that.
no, you're fine.
I appreciate it when he butched it up later into
Yeah.
more of a Beavis and Butthead vibe. Sorry,
Exactly.
we're stepping on your response.
Yeah, why were you surprised?
Well, I've seen, obviously, Hollywood makes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with a 22, that's as close as you're going to get, just like earlier. That's the closest you're going to get to a silenced sound from Hollywood. And it wasn't what I was expecting. I actually expected it to be louder than it was.
Really?
Right.
Obviously quieter because of the suppression, but whenever, especially the subsonic rounds, you heard nothing. It was fantastic.
Right. Well, I'm sure as time goes on, I mean, there are going to be directors that are going to, always opt for authenticity, and therefore the Foley artists will probably make the real sound. Whereas in the past, it was like, oh, it's supposed to make it silent, okay, and then they just make a sound that makes a silence, which now has become the de facto mental image of what that sound is, when in reality it's not. But all in all, like, I mean. Logan, we've fired several. I mean, we did your fix. I think we did it suppressed, right? We didn't wear ear protection when we fired that, right?
We did the Sugar Weasel.
Oh, the Sugar Weasel?
But yeah, we did the Sugar Weasel with subsonic ammunition suppressed. So with the Thunder Chicken, no ear protection needed now.
Yeah, I mean, across the board, wouldn't you say that suppressors in general make virtually all firearms hearing safe?
No.
Not across the board?
No, not across the board. There's certain calibers that are incredibly hard to make hearing safe. 5.56 is a good example because it's always going to be going so fast. You're looking at 3,000 feet per second. I don't think there probably is, but you don't get subsonic ammunition for that. So you're always going to have that loud crack down range. It's just really hard to suppress well.
Right, at least the sound barrier stuff. But what about at the point of the firearm where the explosion is happening? I mean, can you suppress that enough to be safe for hearing? Or are you saying no? Altogether?
No, you really 140 is about permanent hearing damage, and with a good suppressor, I think you get 136 or so. So technically, it's hearing safe, but at the same time, you fire 5, 6, 7 rounds, you're hurting your hearing.
Well, you said 140.
140 decibels.
I think a vacuum cleaner
is like probably 110, probably.
I mean, there's a lot of things in day-to-day life.
My Dyson's probably 180 because it's crazy loud.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised it's not quieter, you know? It's
on the highest setting.
It's like the Q Apple of vacuum cleaners, right?
On the highest setting.
He hasn't got a silencer for it.
Oh, not yet.
I ordered it. I'm waiting for it to get clearance.
Wait for
One of these days, man.
But when we get back, we'll do some talking about the CZ457 Jaguar. We'll shoot some of that, and it's pretty impressive.
We'll probably do some other
on
stuff,
the
too.
Gun Show, probably.
Whee!
Let's hope so.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do
And
that.
then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
right.
just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best
one here.
place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll do better this time.
And so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
I'm Lulu, and I watch the Gun Shop Show because all the fellers are handsome.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. We're giving away a $100 Liberty Tree gift card, and all you have to do to enter in to win that is share the feed and tag 5 friends.
On Facebook.
5.
Tag 5 friends that you think would be interested in this content, that are gun lovers, gun enthusiasts, maybe hunters, maybe guys looking into getting suppressors, and share the feed.
Yeah, that's
it.
pretty simple to do.
And you know what else we should do? We should announce the winner
You
of
want to do that
last
right
week's
now?
giveaway.
Do that right now?
If you remember, last week we were giving away a Zagana PX9.
Oh, yeah.
It's from our used collection, but it's in fantastic
Looks
shape.
brand
Look at
spanking
this.
new.
It reminds me really of the Springfield XD series, and it has a lot of similarities in those ways. It's incredibly reliable, incredibly easy to shoot. Also comes with a holster.
Oh yeah,
let's show that out.
Gives it that Judge Dredd
boom,
look.
boom, boom, boom. But the winner of that is
You
guys ready for this? Ready? You ready? Huh? Ready? It is Shelby Schroeder. Congratulations, Shelby.
Thank you for sharing.
Just reach
and
out
tagging.
to us or stop by in the store and we'll get you hooked up with that firearm as long as
Man,
you're
Shelby's
legally
lucky.
allowed to have it.
pretty. Yeah.
Shelby is lucky because we had a huge turnout on our shares.
Yes,
we really
we did.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Let's continue that this week with the $100 gift card.
Be great.
The
to
more
put
shares
down.
we get, the bigger prizes we're going to give away.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Big
sure.
time. Big
But
time.
also that $100 would go pretty far on a new suppressor.
Yes, it will. Yeah, we have suppressors ranging from anywhere. We've had them down to 250 all the way up to about 450. Of course, you still have to get that $200 tax stamp. But
That's how they
honestly,
get ya.
it's about $450, $500. You're into a suppressor, and they're fantastic.
Yeah,
they're
I've
absolutely
enjoyed
fantastic.
them so far. I mean, I haven't had to spend any money on one, thankfully. I got to fire all of Logan's. So thanks,
Get out of
Logan.
here.
Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, of course. But next up, we're going to shoot the CZ457 Jaguar. It's a bolt action made by CZ. Has a 28.6-inch barrel. It's threaded. We're going to throw the suppressors on there, see how quiet they are. And I just spoiler alert, it's amazing.
I have to tell you, Logan, when I first saw that Jaguar and with that long barrel on it, I thought, man, that thing is way too long. But after shooting that, it is a very nice gun.
Yeah.
Really smooth.
Yeah.
You would think it would be front heavy because the barrel's so long, but it's not. It balances
Definitely
very, very
balanced
well.
I mean, they did a great job. I mean, obviously, some weight on the back end is making it more balanced.
And if you ever run out of ammo, you can just reach up and hit the squirrels out of the tree. It's so long.
Yeah, pretty much. Or, sharpen the end, throw it like a spear.
Pick apples or, whatever's up in the tree.
Yeah,
and it's the barrel's so thin, you could probably pick that steak out of your teeth.
Yeah, we don't recommend that whatsoever, but that's a thought.
Yeah, I guess I should think about those things. Like, don't put guns in your mouths, people.
Yeah,
Come
just a big
on.
no. That's not what we're about. We're about
Not at all.
responsible gun ownership. Always have been, always will be.
Yeah, use a toothpick. You ready to show some of this beautiful
Yeah,
bean
let's
footage?
go ahead and just forget all about that. But let's go ahead and show this footage.
Ready? Got my CZ457 Jaguar. Sorry, just reminiscing about how long this barrel is. We're talking 28 inches.
We got time to see the whole thing.
I know we don't. Let's make sure that hook decker's on.
We don't have all
Nice and
afternoon.
tight. Load her up. Ready?
Be prepared to be impressed.
Now this is unsuppressed, so this is as loud as it's going to get with supersonic ammunition.
I think I'm in love. This is absolutely fantastic.
Smitten like a kitten. Now we're
Logan
suppressing
with the
it.
Gun Shop Show shooting the CZ457 Jaguar with a Q Erector suppressor. We
You
got
almost
supers
said it
in
right.
this.
Almost, I screwed
Should
up.
be
big
pretty
time.
quiet because of the bolt action, but let's find out.
Definitely supersonic.
Now off target. Now because they're supers, you can still hear that sonic boom. So let's just some subs through and see how quiet it is.
Let's see.
Logan with the Gun Shop Show, CZ457 Jaguar, Q Erector suppressor. This time we got subs in it. And folks, this is gonna be quiet. Super quiet. Off target first, you can just hear how quiet it is.
We should do the whole show whispering. Yeah, we should ASMR.
The click of the trigger.
Now on target.
The target's so loud comparatively to shooting it off target.
We need a target suppressor.
You know what? I feel like I'm.
This is Brian Brush shooting for the Gun Shop Show.
We're like,
Today we are
He
shooting a
hit a birdie.
CZ457 Jaguar, and we are using a Ruger Silent SR suppressor, and we're going supersonic rounds.
Supersonic.
Let's get into this.
Forward to fire.
What?
Forward on safety.
Logan just speaks in fragments.
Yeah.
I'd have never found the safety. I wasn't even looking for it.
I saw him get ready to shoot, and I was like, he's going to shoot safety.
I actually saw the round hit the target on that one. That was pretty cool. Good looking stuff.
This is Brian Brush shooting for the Gun Shop Show. We're shooting the CZ457 Jaguar. We're using the Ruger Silent SR suppressor, and we're using subsonic rounds.
What do you
See if
suppose
you even
SR
hear it go.
stands for?
I don't know. They have their SR line of pistols.
Or if you even hear it load. How about that? There it is.
Maybe it stands for Stupendous Ruger. You think?
I think so.
or Swe are totally awesome Ruger.
Got it.
Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Did we skip?
Drop it like it's
I feel like
hot.
one of these I skipped to the next one. There we go.
This is Brian Brush shooting.
We
for the
gave him a
Gun Shop
redo
Show.
on that one. Logan
Shooting the
fed him
CZ 457 Jaguar.
Yeah, the ammo wasn't the
We're
best.
using
but that
the
suppressed
Ruger
stuff- It was clean
Silent
suppressor
SR
stuff.
suppressor.
So the tip's a little
And we're gonna
different,
use
and
subsonic rounds.
they didn't really
Let's
like
see if
those
we can
feeding
hear
guns.
It looked like it might have been like a plastic tip.
It kind of, but we switched to a traditional, just lower pressure
standard,
and it fed significantly better.
Now that's subsonic, and you can tell because Brian missed the first time and you didn't hear the crack. Throwing you under the bus.
I think you're wrong. I think it was just so silent you couldn't even hear it.
Right.
Couldn't hear the blink.
Yeah, I get that. That happens to me too. Probably not in this next video.
This is Trevor with the Gun Shop Show. I am preparing to shoot the CZ457 Jaguar
Much
with
better.
the
Much better.
Q El Camino.
I think you
figured out what he had.
I think you took notes from me. It's not
Whatever.
the Portsmouth.
Whatever.
Portsmouth, yeah.
The Portsmouth.
You can hear that supersonic crack.
Getting good at this, guys.
Mm-hmm. You can hear that crack.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
I was telling Alan earlier.
This is Trevor with the Gun Shop Show.
The
Still shooting the CZ457.
the Jaguar is just so smooth in the bolt action
with the Q
that
El Camino.
you don't have to re-sight every
suppressor.
time you.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
So this is still the El Camino. This is subsonic. Getting a little jammy there. Oh, Space Jam.
Just dump it.
You think?
There you go. Dump.
There you go.
Just gonna manhandle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went ahead and used my guns on this gun.
This is Trevor with the Gun
But,
Shop
yeah, I got to
Show.
redo on
Still
that.
shooting the Jaguar.
Sometimes
by
all it
CZ
takes to work is
with
just
the
a little
Q.
I think this is
El
when we switched
Camino.
over to the other ammo too.
Subsonic.
I believe so.
Subsonic.
So it should be significantly better. Yeah, that felt a
Oh,
lot
it's better.
I think he did 5 for 5 on this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tink, 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 tink.
There you go.
That's how I roll.
Get her down there.
Woo! Woo!
What do we got? We got
Gun Shop
Alan
Show,
shooting.
the Jaguar with the silencer.
I did the El
Cove
Camino.
Sparrow with
Nope, that's the
supersonic
Sparrow.
ammo.
Now that pop that you were talking about, that only happened on the very first round, or does it happen in the first shot of each time we use it?
Each time you use it, yeah.
Okay, so like once you put it on, it.
Yeah, most suppressors have it.
One mo. Nice.
That's how it's done. 5 for 5.
He had to call me out.
Yeah, I did.
Gun Shop Show shooting the Jaguar again with the Sparrow, silencer Cove Sparrow, the subsonic ammo.
Subsonic. We are coming up on a break.
Yep.
And we still got a few more
That is
vids.
crazy quiet.
Yeah.
My God.
The sound of silence.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
We'll be right back
on your favorite show.
On the Gun Shop Show.
We all know that you are more than within your right to shoot an intruder that is in your home. However, what if you do everything right and once the smoke clears, the situation is not quite as it seemed? Well, that is exactly what happened to fellow member Isabella in this story.
So I just put my house on the market because I wasn't living in a good neighborhood and my home had been broken into before. One night, my realtor called and asked to show my home at 6:30. I thought, yeah, this is perfect. I'll go to the gym. When I got home around 8:15, I set the alarm and jumped in the shower. About 5 minutes later, the alarm went off. I rushed out of the shower to grab my gun. As I turned the corner, a man was standing near my front door in all black. I repeatedly yelled at him, "Leave or I'll shoot." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone else dart in front of him. He turned towards me, so I shot. Suddenly, I realized the second person was my realtor.
The truth is, you never know how events will unfold. Isabella was not criminally charged, but shortly after she faced a civil lawsuit. With the help of U.S. Law Shield, Isabella was advised through the whole legal process and paid 0 attorney's fees. Remember, criminals never take a vacation. Be armed, stay educated, and get protected with U.S. Law Shield.
The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by little old ladies. They're little, and they're old. They're little.
I think I'll keep it on.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, it's
This is the Gun Shop Show.
I appreciate you checking on me.
Guess what we're doing?
Oh, you're talking to the audience.
We're giving away a $100 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns.
Mm-hmm.
You may be asking yourself, how do I win that?
Yeah, how do you win that?
All you have to do is share the feed.
Okay. Really? Okay.
And tag 5 friends.
You're kidding me.
Mm-hmm. And if you're listening on the podcast or the radio and you're like,
oh, I'm listening.
This dude's crazy. Share the feed.
Mm-hmm.
What's he talking about?
He's
I'm
talking
listening
about
on the
chicken
radio.
feed, talking about cat
driving
feed.
to get some pizza.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm on my way to Casey's.
I'm talking
to
about
get pizza.
Facebook. I'm talking about search Liberty Tree Guns.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see us there live, all our beautiful faces, especially Trevor's.
Oh, yeah.
Just share that feed and you tag 5 friends,
so
and you
easy.
get entered in to win a $100 Liberty Tree gift card.
Pretty easy to do.
It's that simple.
Now,
Sharing is caring.
It is.
Sharing is caring. Please share for us because you guys make this show possible, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for us, watching our buffoonery, coming to the range to shoot with us sometimes.
Hijinks.
Right?
Yeah.
Getting to shoot suppress for the
Hey,
first time.
and you know what? Thank you, Brian. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today and shooting guns with us.
It was fun.
You don't turn down an opportunity to shoot guns.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, especially when someone else is bringing the ammo.
Right. Exactly.
And the suppressors. And the guns.
Yeah.
And these guns.
But we were just finishing.
And this face.
Okay, we were just finishing.
And this voice.
Just finishing up shooting the 457 Jaguar. We'll talk about this later, Trevor.
The Jaguar.
The Jaguar with the dead air mask. And I did some mag dumps, you know what I'm saying? With that
you're a mag
action.
dumper.
Let's get to that footage.
This is Logan with the Gun Shop Show, shooting the CZ 457 Jaguar. We're going to see how fast I can shoot this thing.
He just wanted to show off.
Just for funsies.
He's
Ready?
a bit of a show off. Just a bit. Tink.
I went so fast I didn't have the proper grip on it.
It's almost like it's semi-auto.
That was fast.
Now see if you could talk that fast.
I know. That would be cool.
What are we doing?
Logan with the Gun Shop Show.
Oh, wow.
CZ 457 Jaguar.
Now we're going subs.
Dead air mask HD on there.
I wanted to comment on your behavior. Went from to oh my god, guys.
Listen how quiet this is. Just listen.
Let's go right back on target here.
So much louder on the target.
As you can hear, the gong is louder than the gun actually firing. And you're going to need to get a suppressor.
You're going to need to get one.
You're going to need to get a suppressor.
And good news is Liberty Tree Guns, your best friends in the gun business, have a wide selection to choose from. And we also have a pretty dope kiosk, am I
And
right?
we have a pretty knowledgeable staff.
Really makes it easy.
The kiosk makes it incredibly easy. Let me tell you
easy.
how life was like getting a suppressor before the kiosk.
Explain it.
Okay.
Mansplain it.
So, to get a suppressor, for those that don't know, you have to fill out a Form 4. It's a specific form for a suppressor, and it's pretty much just like a written. It's a big, all long sheet of stuff that you have to fill out. It asks you, your basic 4473 questions like, are you a felon? Are you a citizen of the U.S.? And then you also have to get your fingerprints taken and your picture taken. You have to compile all of this up with a $200 tax stamp. You send that off to the ATF, and then whenever they get around to the paperwork, which is typically about 8 months down the road, you'll be approved and you'll finally be able to take your suppressor home. The problem with all this is, with doing the paperwork yourself, is that you'll have to go to your local police department or your sheriff's department, get fingerprinted, pay whatever they charge if they charge you. Then you'll have to go to a different place like a DMV to get your airport photos taken. Then you'll have to get all that printed off and compile that all up. Then you'll have to send it off by mail yourself. It's a lot of work to get a suppressor.
It sounds like it, man.
Compared to a firearm.
I don't want one now. Just listening to you discuss all the steps.
And that was
previous.
That's how a lot of people felt about it. They were like, "That's a lot of work. If I do it wrong, it may take a few months. They'll send it back and say, fix this,' and then you're waiting even longer."
But it was in the 1990s, when people actually mailed stuff in.
But but with the kiosk. It's all in one place.
Mhm.
You come down to Liberty Tree Guns, your friends in the gun business. You ask one of our gun vendors. You don't ask them. You say, I want to buy a suppressor.
Right.
And you're going to help me do that.
Mhm.
Okay. They're going to walk you over to the kiosk after you pick out your suppressor.
Mhm.
You're going to fill out all your information. We'll do your fingerprints there. We'll do your photograph there. We'll upload that all into Silencer Shop's network. They'll then have all your information. And then when we apply that serial number of your suppressor to your account, they'll take care of all the paperwork for you, and they'll send it off for you.
Man, that was a lot less explanation for it. I'm already in on that.
It's so easy. You walk in the door. Let's say you already have your suppressor picked out. From walking in the door to walking out with all your paperwork done, 15 minutes.
Wow. 15 minutes?
You don't, exactly. One-stop shop. You
and
don't
you
have
were-
to drive across town to your local sheriff's department, make an appointment with them, especially with COVID, who I heard some departments weren't even taking people
Wow.
because of COVID and COVID restrictions.
I mean, it makes sense that they
We have
wouldn't.
people from all over the area that drive to Carthage just to do our kiosk.
We have a lot of people
and
in
then
Pittsburgh.
we have to ship their suppressors to them.
Yep.
We have to transfer them.
Right.
A lot of people in Pittsburgh do that in Kansas.
You know, I drove over there and saw that gun
Arkansas.
shop.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I was walking down the street and I'm like, I've sent a lot of guns to that place.
They're not too far away from us, but they don't have a kiosk. And so they graciously send their customers to us to do the kiosk.
Heck yeah.
And we work out a deal with them, but it's super easy to do. And if anyone wants to get a suppressor, this is the way to do it
And
for sure. Forward.
The one thing, though, you might remind people, though, they could put a suppressor on layaway, but they can't start the paperwork until it's fully paid for.
Oh,
You have
that's
to
a
pay-
good point.
That's
That's
true.
a good
You have
point.
to pay
That's
for
true.
the suppressor up front and the $200 tax stamp.
And the reason we do that is just because the suppressor, unlike any other firearm or regular firearm, will be tied to you specifically.
For sure.
Like if you came in and you were like, I want to buy the Zagana PX9 here. When we run the background check, that does not register the firearm in your name. That doesn't do any of that. All that does is tell the ATF or the government that you ran a background check on this date. That's all it tells. That's all they can see. So the gun's not registered in your name, whereas an NFA item like a suppressor or a machine gun are registered specifically to you.
Yeah.
And so if we start all the paperwork and you default on payments, you've only paid 10 to 20% of it. That's your suppressor. It'd be a whole big process to get that out of your name and everything.
Yeah, I get it. Can't transfer it off to someone else, even if you sold it. It's yours forever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless you destroy it. So we're
we
trying
also,
to prevent that.
We put those in a secure area beyond just behind the bars of the store, right? So it's extra secure. It's not touched by any of our staff.
Nope.
It's not touched by any other customer. We don't take it out. I mean, every once in a while we do take it out and kind of like doggy daycare. We show photos of it having fun, and spending time frolicking in the grass.
I'll walk in the back and I'll go to the secure location and I'll safe or whatever, and I'll any, mini, money, mo, and we'll randomly take out one of your guys' suppressors and shoot them. And no, I'm just kidding. We don't do any of that.
I'm like, we do?
We don't do any of that.
Right.
And we won't do that because we respect that.
Hey,
that's yours.
We're people's friends in the gun business. We better not be doing that, Logan.
We don't do that.
Better not.
And we won't do that, period.
No,
all the
do that.
suppressors that we currently shot today were either mine or someone's in the stores, or they were the stores themselves.
Yeah.
But by someone in the store, I meant like Alan, like someone else that works here.
Like Alan.
Alan.
So, Brian, now that you've seen how the sausage is made, do you hate sausage now?
Well,
Are you sick of sausage?
I love pork sausage. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
yeah.
And no matter what, no matter if you've seen it made or not, you're going to keep eating the sausage.
You're going to still be a fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Right.
not going to
Okay. You're not
gonna
gonna-
walk away.
I don't know about. I don't know about a super fan.
Oh.
But, you know.
Oh,
Well, we won't have to
downgraded.
invite him to go shooting anymore.
I'll still tell you good morning every show.
I appreciate that.
Will it have
And,
15 zero or O's in the letter or the word good?
13. There's 13.
Oh, we're dialing
But-
it back.
But that it's in morning, not good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're less O's now.
Do you know what we kind of
Maybe a
skimmed
few.
over?
What did we skip
That
over?
I feel like we should talk about? This was Alan's first time shooting suppress as well.
Oh, it was.
And we didn't get his impressions at
Yeah.
all. Well, kind of.
Well, hey,
But not directly.
I don't want to.
It was everything I expected.
Well, now that
Was it?
we
Yeah.
pretty much put together your gun, your new TX22,
Yeah.
with your
Let's take
sweet
the sound
new
show.
optic and then also put your Tweety Bird, which, by the way, should be a suppressor.
So this is Alan's setup. We have a TX22 competition with the Silencer Coast Sparrow and a Hollow Sun, I believe like a 507C.
Yeah, that's. Can you put that optic?
507C.
Can you show the viewers what that looks like? Is that possible?
Without pointing the gun at myself, yeah, for sure.
Well, you don't have to be in the thing. Tip it, nose down. No, you can't see it.
No, you can definitely see it because I just saw it.
I can't see it
Yeah, I
at
saw
all. Anyway, yeah, I don't see it even a little bit,
There it
dude.
was. I just saw it.
Oh, there it is. Tip it up and to the other way. You can kind of see it in the corner there. Anyway, there you go. There you go. So it's not just your standard dot in the center.
No,
like
it's
most of them
similar
are.
to an EOTech in that you have like a circle around the dot. So it's really easy to pick up. It's really easy to use.
Yeah, I
Well,
got
this
some-
is a fantastic setup. It's hearing safe. We get Taurus TX22 competitions in regularly. They already come threaded, so if you have a 22 suppressor, you just throw it on there.
You just
Super
throw it
easy. And I really like this gun. I love this gun, actually. I own one. I don't have my suppressor on it yet or red dot, but I plan on getting one.
Can suppressors be inherited? Do you know?
So you can do a trust.
Yeah. So there's a couple ways you can own a suppressor, either as an individual or as a trust. In the trust instance, the trust will own the suppressor. And so anyone on that trust has access to that suppressor. So if the four of us were on a trust and one of us died, the three of us still technically own that suppressor or have access to it. Whereas as an individual, if this was registered to me as an individual and I die,
yeah,
I believe it has to be destroyed. Or the ATF has to come get it.
Oops, here, let's just do this. Okay, so yeah, it's just the tunes playing out.
I gotcha.
So I had a great time today, guys. Brian, I hope you had fun shooting with us and hanging out with us.
Absolutely. It was fantastic.
Grateful for you joining us.
Appreciate all you guys watching. Stay with us. We'll be right back next week.
Psych! This is the end. We just have to sit through the music.
We love all you guys. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in with us. Bye.
Bye. Like the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh yeah. Hanging out. Oh yeah. Hanging out through the tunes. My favorite part. Because I get to be the one that says the things that they unless somebody else wants it. He wants to say something unnecessary or has nothing to do with anything about 3, 2, 1. About 3, 2, 1.
Show 65.